Three,
Two.
two, one. We are at the Walters Custom Painting headquarters, and I'm sitting down with the man himself, Walter Maldonado. He agreed to be on the podcast and share with you guys some tips about building your painting business. I know he has his boot camp group that he's been helping entrepreneurs and then mainly painters on how to grow and scale their business. So I'm gonna be diving deep with some questions to help you guys. Maybe some questions you have about building a painting business or marketing or anything that has to do with building a business. He knows what he's been doing for the past how many years?
6 years.
Going on 6 years. 6 years of just a roller coaster ride, but also an upward trend of your business has been going up.
Yeah, man. I thank God every day, man. It's just hard work and dedication. That's what it's about.
Hard work and dedication. Why? First of all, why the painting business?
I don't know. I felt when I got into the painting business, for me, it felt like once I had that brush in my hand, I felt relaxed. I felt like nothing else around me mattered. And for me, also seeing the before and during and after of a paint job, of what it was before to what it is after we finish. For me, the transformation of that is just, for me, it's amazing. And seeing the customers smile when we are done.
How old were you when you picked up a paintbrush?
It was like 16 years ago. But I didn't know how to paint.
You didn't know how to paint?
Nah, I liked it then. I knew this is something I possibly wanted to do. I didn't really know what to do when I picked up that paintbrush. And, it was time, as time kept going on. Yes, I started like 16 years ago of learning it with other people, but it took time.
Did you start off as like a helper?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I started as a helper, cleaning hinges, cleaning floors and stuff like that. But yeah.
What were some of the biggest challenges you faced in the beginning of building your painting business?
So technically, I started the business longer than 6 years ago. I would say probably about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that I started the painting business, and I fell flat on my face. I didn't know how to do my estimates. I didn't know what to do. I was hiring friends. I was hiring families, and for me, and these are people that didn't know just as much as I didn't know what to do in the painting business or what to do in the house or the customer service part of it. And I just kept falling and falling. I quit. I was done. I was like, I'm not, I need to do something else. I need to go to work for somebody else again and find out what to do and what not to do in the painting business. Because I felt like I knew it all at that time. And sometimes as a business owner, and it's something that you want to know, you have to take a step back and know that we don't know it all. We don't know it all at the end of the day, because in business, every day is growth. So I took that mindset and I said, you know what, let me go work for someone and see what I can do, what I have to do and what I don't have to do in a business.
So you went to work with somebody with the intentions of, I'm just here to learn so I can just branch off and go.
Correct.
That was your main focus of going in there.
Correct.
So you was laser focused since the beginning. Was that boss like a mentor at the time, or was they just like a boss that just?
He was just a boss. He was just a boss. I got the job, started working with him, and I learned, like I said, I just learned what to do and what not to do. He has some great workers working for him, where I learned from them as well. And as the process kept going, man, I just little by little, I just kept picking up small stuff, whether if it was the cutting part of it, how to cut or how to roll, how to spackle, what was the importance of a painting job, the process of it. And those are steps that I learned and I picked up. And some of the stuff was more of me hearing the customers say, I don't like this. This is, I don't appreciate this. Why isn't this covered? Why isn't this spackled? So I picked that up and started listening more to the customers, because as a business owner, some people want to get in and get out. they want to they charge $3,000 for a job. They're trying to make as much as possible. But I started learning that for me, the customer service part of it was really more important than trying to rush in and out of a job.
That's part of like your reputation right there too, is that customer service that you've been giving out all these years. That's has kept you in business, right?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, customer service is definitely a big part of it. Because if you just go in and just don't care about a job, people are not going to call you back.
Yeah.
You know, and same thing with if someone calls me, I can go into your house. I can go into your house this week, paint your cabinets or paint whatever it is that I have to paint in your house, and you call me next week and say, "Hey, Walter, I have this issue, you know, with the cabinets, or you know, there was a nail pop, or whatever it is." Some people won't call you back. So we call you back and we make sure that we go back to your house and address this. All right, we're not just gonna leave you there and say, no, we're not gonna go back. That's not our problem. We already got paid. No, for me, I want to build a relationship with you. I want to make sure that you can call me for your next project, or you can tell your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, whoever needs a painting job.
And you've gotten that, right? You've gotten those referrals,
Absolutely,
those callbacks,
yeah.
those.
Yeah, yeah.
That's probably like the best feeling too, right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
That is the
I
best
love it.
feeling. What would you recommend like for like a new painter to find a mentor? Like how do you recommend them going about finding like a mentor that you know, they want to go down that same route of building their own business one day? And
Reach out to people, man. I mean, there is people out there that are willing to help other painting businesses. You know, we had the Walters boot camp. You know, we go on there every 2 weeks, every week, you know, as much as we can, and we get people on Zoom meetings and try to talk to them how we can better ourselves with the business. That's, you know, and that's something that we could do, that it's actually a free avenue for painters. You know, but we also have a mastermind, a one-on-one mastermind that I've done a couple times that, you know, you can get on a call with me for 45 minutes. But just reach out to people. Don't be scared to ask questions. You know, some people will be closed-minded. Some people don't want to help other people. But at the end of the day, man, if we could all help each other, you know, this industry could be a lot better.
yeah, the resources are out there. You got YouTube, you got Google, you got Facebook groups, you got Walter. They're all out there. You just have to be willing to, again, speak up, because nobody's going to come and just do it for you or help you out without knowing that you need help. Because the people that would reach out, the people that would help you out, they'll do it.
Yeah, but it's like they say, a closed mouth don't get fed. So you constantly keeping your mouth shut, you're not going to get fed. You keep your mouth shut, you don't ask questions, no one's going to answer those questions for you.
Yeah.
So you have to ask.
And I'm the type of person that's like, when I'm like trying to get information or just needing some type of guidance, like I'll become annoying. Like I'm gonna ask questions. If I'm in the space, that means I'm meant to be in that space to whatever it is. If I'm here to learn, then I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna ask as many questions as I can until you tell me to shut up, because that's how I've gotten in rooms that has helped me so much with me and my business. And I mean, that, like you said, no closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Yeah, but that's the problem, that people want to learn, and people are scared to ask. And when some people will ask a question to certain people and they get shut down, so now that shuts you down, you know. But you can't be like that, because at the end of the day, it's like they say, the road to success. You can go down the hallway. There could be 10 doors in that hallway. If 10 doors one door gets shut, keep going. Don't stop. It's the same thing. If someone doesn't want to help you out or try to teach you a certain way, okay, you know what? Keep going. Keep trying to search for that answer. Keep searching for that door. Eventually, it could be the 10th door. But as long as you're trying and asking questions and surround yourself with the right people that want to see you win, it will happen.
I think people give up too soon as well. Like they expect. I was reading something on I think it was like Instagram or something. It was like, if you went to school, it would have taken you, I don't know, either 6 years to become a doctor or like 9 years to become a lawyer or something like that, something crazy. And people always take entrepreneurship as like, if I don't make it in the next 3 years, then it's over. Like, if you go down the school route, you'll be willing to accept all those years to become something
There's
And then-
there's people that's going to school for 10 years.
before they even become what
Bef-
they're actually going
Exactly.
for. And it's like you said, people just give up too soon.
Nah, you can't give up. You know, I've always said this to you. We create our own destiny. No one's gonna create that road for us. You know, people can tell you, oh yeah, go down that road, go down that road. But at the end of the day, it's you putting in the work to be where you want to be. You don't. You're not gonna put me in a position where I want to be. In order for me to get there, I have to make the way to get there.
That's true. How important is like collaborations though? Because you've done so many things for. Hold on. You've done so many things for the community, for people. You know, cross promoted with businesses, marketing, all this stuff. How important has that been for your business?
Man, I think it's been important, man. I'm a firm believer. I want to see people win. I'm not greedy. I'm not, you know, I'm not one of these people that want to just keep all the knowledge to myself. And what I've learned, I would like to give it out. And what I feel like didn't work, I'll let you know that didn't work for me. It might work for you, but if it didn't work for me, but you know, collabing with other businesses for me is great. I mean, think about it. You know, I collab with Eric, the floor expert. Him and I done multiple jobs together.
Yeah.
You know, and just a lot of it also from collabing on social media. You know, and this is
That extra exposure.
yeah. You know, I mean, whoever, you know, their followers are not our followers, but once we collab, now we're cross promoted. Now his followers and vice versa can help each other out.
Yeah, you have to cross promote. You have to be willing to take a chance with somebody else in different either industries or the same industries, but you never know. You never know who's watching. You never know who's out there that you can connect with. But if if you was to start all over, right? What is something that you would do differently?
Nothing. Because I feel that by the steps that I did it, by starting my business, leaving my business, learning how to build a business while working for somebody else and taking the baby steps, I think that was the best way for me to do it. I think me saying, okay, you know what? I don't know it all. And I said this to myself a while ago. I don't know it all. I am not perfect. So how can I get to a position that I always wanted to be? And that was actually to sit back and say, you know what? Humble yourself. Humble yourself, because at the end of the day, we all need each other, regardless of what industry you're in. You know, and for me, I think I took those steps very serious and humbled myself and know that where I came from and just taking baby steps was actually a big part. You know, as you guys know, I've been through, you know, from from prison to all this, and I think all that stuff, man, at the end of the day, do I regret that part? Yes, but in the same time, it made me the person that I am today. So I look at it like this: no matter what, if I didn't go through that stuff, would I be the person I am today? No one knows. I don't even know. So I am thankful for what I went through. So I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, it took me a lot longer to be successful, but maybe this was my calling.
Yeah, and that's okay, because again, if it takes you however long it's gonna take you, once you get there, you don't even look back at all the years that you put in. You're just thankful that you finally made it.
Yeah.
Or you finally got to that point where it's like, I'm not where I was anyway. Right. If you was to move to another state though and start a whole another painting business, how would you start?
Same way.
Like what? With knowing the knowledge that you know now.
It doesn't. No matter what, you still have to go in it very humble. Every state does it differently. All right. So how I'm doing it here, or how I'm promoting it here, you know, yes, I would take that the same way and do it in another state, because if it's working here, you never know, it can work over there. You know, but again, everybody does stuff different. So I will have to really learn how they do it. Like, for instance, you go to Florida, all right? Florida doesn't have just straight sheetrock. You have knockdowns, which is textured, orange peels. We don't have that here.
Yeah.
So if I don't know how to do any of those knockdowns or how to do a repair on any of that, I have to really humble myself
And learn it.
and learn that. I can't just go there and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna take over here. I'd be fooling myself.
Yeah.
I end up falling again.
A lot of people, when they're starting off in the painting business, they struggle with pricing and estimates. What do you what is some advice you could give somebody with pricing and estimates on jobs in the beginning stages?
Man, price it out to make sure you give quality work. All right. And when I say that is the prep work. And I say this a lot on my videos. Prep work is always key. All right. Spackle, any nail pops, any cracks. You know, I get a lot of, stuff on social media. Oh, you're crazy because that's extra pricing. That's extra work. Why?
Crazy when you see those comments.
Yeah.
It's,
Okay, but if you're a painter and you want to succeed in painting, you want to give the customers the best quality work. So that goes with you doing the prep work with the spackle. People say, oh, you're crazy. You put too much spackle or mud, whatever it is. You do too much of it. Okay, well, that's how we do it, and that's how we was able to succeed. So that's just know that if you want to succeed, give your customers the best quality work. Take care of them. If you go in there and you see a nail pop, take care of the nail pop. And for instance, I'm just gonna throw a price out there. I don't know what other people are charging. So let's just say, for instance, if I'm going to a room, and I will say, all right, it's gonna take 2 guys, 2 days. I gotta make sure that I'm covering my guys. I gotta make sure that all my materials, all right, and obviously the taxes that comes out of, that part as well. So if I'm making $200-$300 out of that bedroom after all that for one room, I'm happy. Because at the end of the day, if I'm charging $1,000 in labor and materials and everything is costing me $800 with taxes and everything else, I still have $200 for myself. All right, so
profit is profit.
it is. People say, oh, $200 is nothing. But you know what? $200 times 5 rooms, that's $1,000 in 3 and 4 days. So now 3 and 4 days with that same crew, you do 2 houses, you do 5 rooms, you're making $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So people think, oh, I don't want to just make $100 or $200 off a room. Okay, well, if you can get that done quick and come out beautiful and do 5 of them, 10 of them in a week, it's a great profit.
Yeah, you also shouldn't have to try to be like, you shouldn't have to be like greedy on every project either. Like, do what you say you're gonna do, commit to what you say you're gonna do a good job. And the game of entrepreneurship is to stay in the game.
Stay in the game and also customer service. I mean, I get a lot of feedback from customers too. I just had one down in Manahawkin, I believe it was. And she said, she was like, you know what? She was like, everything that you said when you came to my house that you was going to do, your guys did without you being here. And that's very important because if you don't train your guys to do it how you want to do it and making sure that the customer is happy, then you're not going to be in business.
Yeah, and I've been to his projects. He definitely doesn't lie when it comes to that spackle work. Like, it doesn't matter what you call him on the internet. It don't matter what you write in those comments. If that guy needs to put spackle, he's gonna put spackle.
I'm gonna put spackle on you if your pimples coming out your face.
I definitely see that. He'll tell your customers too. I'm gonna put spackle on you too if I have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, it's part of your process and what makes you do good work.
Yeah.
Right. And you did touch on like training your guys. So for somebody that is also starting out, what's that training process for your company?
So I'm gonna be honest. We hired people that I feel like are eager to learn. So I put them in a crew leader, and they'll teach them. They'll teach them from the bottom. When I say teach them from the bottom, all right, you know what? Cleaning up. covering floors, covering furniture, covering whatever needs to be covered. All right, and then after that, you start rolling. After you start rolling, then little by little, the guys will start teaching them and how to spackle and how to do all the other stuff. And it takes time. Listen, some guys might pick it up in 2 weeks.
What's that probation period look like? Until you be like, all right, you're taking too long to learn.
A month.
A month.
Yeah.
30 days, they got to come in, be
30
locked in. And
30 days. But the thing is that if you really want to learn, you'll pick it up fast. But obviously, some people learn a lot slower than others. But if I see that you're eager to learn and you're trying, listen, I'll give you a little bit more time because I see, and the guys would tell me, listen, he wants to learn. Like he's always asking questions.
Potential of like
Right.
growing here.
Yeah. So, sometimes I might give you a little bit longer, but I mean, listen, I've been blessed that less than a month, these guys have been picking it up. I got, one of my guys that he was with me for 6 months when he started. He didn't know nothing. Nothing. He learned how to spackle. He learned how to spray. He learned how to do staining. He knew how to learn everything. Within 6 months, I gave him his own crew.
Now he's running his own crew.
3 years later, he's still with me.
That's a blessing, especially when you get those people that are just willing to work.
Yeah.
And want to learn because you don't find those often. So it's like, if you're going to be willing to learn, I'm going to give you and teach you everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
keep him close.
Nah, oh yeah, he's close.
You got to keep him close.
Yeah.
How do you, what strategies helped you gain clients when you were new in the industry, and how have those strategies evolved now?
Customer service.
It's always been customer service.
Always been customer service because I feel like in any business, you can go to a pizzeria. All right, if you don't have great customer service, people, sometimes it doesn't matter if your food is good. If you don't have that right customer service and speak to the customers properly and be there when they need you, they're not gonna call you back. Okay. So with us is that main customer service, and I was always one, and the girls in the office, they know it. When the customers call, listen, be polite. We're there to try to make sure that they are happy with us. We're not gonna sit here and they call us up and say, "Oh, you have a touch-up," and if it's our fault or not our fault, we can't sit here and get mad at them. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, don't forget, the customers are the ones that's paying our bills. Without them, we can't provide for our families. We can't pay our guys. Yeah. So if you don't have that customer service, and no matter what, we can never think that we're better than our customers or our customers need us. No, we need them.
When did or how do you deal with those customers then? Like, what was that? What's your thought process when you do go through those customers that are just like, you're doing everything at the best of your ability, but they're still like not satisfied?
There's definitely customers like that. There is. It's everywhere. But at the end of the day, it's just you still have to keep your cool and do your best to try to satisfy. And at the end of the day, I've never had this happen to me, but if there was to a point where there was no way of satisfying them, then it's more of like politely move yourself away from the situation and just let the customer know, listen, I'm sorry, this does not work out for us. Obviously, everything that I'm trying to do is not to your standards. I'm sorry, I apologize, and just move forward from it.
Yeah, because that's like, a lot of people are afraid to like take on clients and branch out, but it's like the worst case scenario is like, if you're doing the best that you could, if you was honest about your work, and they just weren't satisfied, like you said, in a polite way, this doesn't work out, and it doesn't work out. But they're not all like that. There's gonna be people like that. I wish that business was just like everything profit, everything great every single day. But like you said, you got to keep it cool. You got to make sure you manage your emotions.
But here's the thing, though. It's as long as you're living by your word in business, all right, and standing behind your work and standing behind your guys and doing everything you're supposed to be doing, there's no issues. There's really no issues, all right? This is why we have project manager, and they're always in and out of the houses and talking to the customers. This is what also has helped us with the business, you know, because if the customer's not satisfied before we leave, we're not leaving your house until you're satisfied. So we're gonna stay there. Like we'll go around and start putting blue tape anywhere that we see, either me or my project manager. You've seen it, you know, a bunch of times that we're going. We do that to make sure that we leave you with a smile at the end of the day.
And what does you said something about keeping it cool? What does Walter do when there is too much going on at once? Because you're gonna have good months, you're gonna have stressful months, you're gonna have
Like, what do you mean?
let's just say just maybe a little bit overwhelmed with so much that's going on because of projects, because of business, because of people. How do you manage that stress to keep your cool throughout? Because what you've been able to build isn't something that somebody can just go and do.
I mean, I've learned
You have
to
learn to control your emotions and all that through through business.
yeah. I mean, I definitely learned to control my emotions, you know, in this process. But I've learned to also not put so much on my plate where we can't handle. You know, and if this, I mean, listen, obviously there's always stuff that's always happens, and it's just like your head wants to blow up, and sometimes I just want to be alone, get my thoughts together, and then I come back and try to find a solution. You know, and sometimes with the team that I have, the girls in the office and my project manager, they'll see this in me, you know, and they will, you know, tell me, okay, Walter, what if we handle this way? You know, and that's where it comes in of me humbling myself, because just because I'm the business owner, you know, I can't sit here and get pissed off. Why? I got other people that depend on me, and everybody else that's with me that's in my office will also help me solve a situation. Okay, Walter, let's try this way. You know, listen, let's try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, okay, you know what? We got to find a different solution. You know, and I've learned that in business, that as I grow, I can't handle every situation on my own.
Yeah, that is true.
I can't. I'd be stupid to think that, you know, I'm a one-man army and I can do it all. I can solve every problem. No. You know, I solve the problems that I have with the team and the support that I have.
How do you hire? What's the hiring process for you to find, like, what characteristics do you look for in people that want to come work for you?
You have to be someone that's open-minded. If you're not open-minded, then this business is not for you. Because if you're closed-minded and you go into a house and a customer says to you, in a rude way, let's just say, hey, why you're dragging that? Pick it up. I can't have you sit here and get pissed off at the customer. Be open-minded. Would you drag something in your own house?
No.
So when I say open-minded, it's like, okay, you know what? She's right. Let me pick it up with someone and move it. So you have to be open-minded and mindful of other people's belongings. So if you're not respectful of other people's property, you're not respectful of yourself, then I'm sorry, but this business is not for you.
How many people have you hired up until this point? Hired and fired and like.
I'm gonna be completely honest, man. I went through a lot, especially in the beginning stages.
I think people don't realize that you are gonna go through a lot of people.
Yeah.
And most people try to hold on to that person that's just barely getting their business by when it's not even healthy to keep them in the business. So.
It's not. You got to learn to when to fold them. If the guy's not working for you, he's not making you money, he can't be in your business. But I also say that I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't have enough guys, I don't have enough help, or I'm not busy, or this and that and third. Okay, how are you treating your employees? All right, are you paying these guys well? Are you paying them every week? Are you giving these guys incentives? Are you giving these guys, holiday envelopes, bonuses? and be there. Because listen, at the end of the day, these guys are working for us. Sometimes just having a conversation with them, don't just sit there and think like, oh, I'm going to yell at you all the time. No. Yes, there is a line between being a boss and a friendship in business. Absolutely. But you also have to know that by you screaming at someone, they're not going to get nowhere with it.
Yeah.
If you speak to your employees politely, you will have these guys that will work for you and will go, the extra mile for you.
We're gonna wrap this up because it's gonna get long. But real quick, we're not done yet. What's a quick tip that a business owner can do to incentivize their workers?
What I do, this is what I'm doing now. 30 days. I'm giving my guys 30 days. Whoever has the least complaints, right? We just did this, me and my office, we just did this last month. We take out the guys who has the least amount of callbacks. We taking them out to eat, and we giving them an incentive at the end of the month. We just did this like maybe 2 weeks ago.
How was that first?
It was amazing. It was amazing because
They liked it. They enjoyed it.
they enjoyed it. Because not only that, they also see that you care. You don't just have them working for you just for you to try to make the money. Because at the end of the day, without them, there's no Walters Custom Painting at all. They run my business. Let's be honest. I'm the face.
That's a great incentive. So if you guys caught that, go implement that for your business. What strategies? Not that. When did you realize the importance of social media for your business, and what were the first steps in getting started with it?
So I knew a while ago, like I started with the social media a long time ago, and it was like Mickey Mouse, little bootleg, videos. And I always knew back then, because again, it was more of being open-minded. I was like, this social media thing, a lot of people are watching social media. I used to always hear people, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, obviously, I met you, what was it, 2 years ago, and we started doing business together. And when I started hearing my customers say to me, hey, I see you on social media. I love the way you do your process. I love how you speak to the customers. I love how you keep it real. And that's when I started learning. I was like, you know what? This is the wave. There's no more yellow books. Listen, if you've been in business 30, 40 years, yes, recommendation always works. It still works for us. But the new wave right now is social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's free. So if you're going out there and I know a lot of people are scared of being on a camera or even talking on what you call it, because I know when I started with you, I didn't really want to be on camera, and you told me, listen, be comfortable. Be myself, and then, after a while I started picking it up, and listen, it's still to this day. I get phone calls. I see you on social media, man. I love the way you do the work. I love your process, and it's helped my business tremendously.
Yeah, those beginning stages when we started to work together and started trying to figure out what strategies we would use for his social media. The minute we found out what was working is what started to take off for his business. And besides just the clients that were that were saying that, they saw you on social media, what other experiences have you had because of social media? The guy that jumped out the truck. Take pictures of
yeah.
you.
Some guy he followed me, and he followed me to a house, and he was like, man, I just want to take a picture with you, man. And I've gone to a couple events where people say, hey, man, I see you on social media. And it's more of them saying to me, I see you on social media, I want to take a picture with you, but I appreciate what you're doing because of how you're explaining stuff on social media as well. So it's not so much of like them wanting to take the pictures with me, it's because now I feel like I'm really touching people because of what I'm doing. I mean, listen, yes, there's other painters out there that's doing social media, but for us, we feel like we've done it differently. To where, talking to customers, they explain certain process, and we get a lot of hatred from other people, but
Comes with it.
yeah, it comes with it. But I comment back, I joke around, like I don't like that stuff. Don't phase me. So you could talk all the crap you want. I'm gonna talk nicely to you. So whatever. But no, it's been great, man. It's just touching people and knowing that I'm helping other companies as well.
And what advice would you give to someone looking to use social media to build their brand in the home improvement industry?
Do it. Do it. Don't get scared. Do it, because if you don't do it, you're gonna be left behind. All right.
Especially more people are catching on in the home improvement industry and every other industry. They're hiring their videographers to make sure they create the strategic content that they need. Like, more companies are understanding they need a camera to be filming them as much as possible to get as much content out there, because you can do stuff paid. But it's gonna cost you a lot because you're trying to run a campaign on something that you don't know if it's working. But if you do it organically with enough content out there, and you find what's working already organically, then you can put some money behind it and say,
Yeah.
this is a good one that we can maybe change the copy up a little bit, maybe to be more for a campaign, but you know what's already working organically, so you can put some money behind it to go reach more people.
Yeah, I mean, it's your brand. It's your brand. I mean, you want to get your brand out there and what you're doing. You want to get it out there to people. You want people to see your process, how you're doing it. Because think about it, us in the painting business, a lot of people post pictures or what they're doing of the before and afters. My difference is I post stuff during and after, which is a big difference. And by me showing that, it's actually opening the eyes to customers and say, oh, wow, like this is what the type of work that he does. So now when I come out with my price, I give you my price. 90% of my customers, they understand my price because they know the process that I'm doing it. Right.
Literally see it. That's why create content where the customer understands the journey of what they're going to go through by just watching your videos. And when they see all of that, they would be like, okay, that's why his price is the price. It's not just anybody can post it before and after, but there's a whole process in between that goes from first of all, coming out to the estimates, the customer service that he talks about has always been great. The project itself is already a whole different process that you're probably not showing on social media. But
And here's the thing, a lot, not to get off the topic, but the social media part also shows how we're doing the job. A lot of these people, they're going out, and in order for you to be in business, you have to spend the money to be in business. Whether if it's through social media or the steps that you take to give your customer the proper work. All right? A lot of people like to use tarps. I don't like to use tarps. All right? People say, oh, well, why not? You could reuse them constantly. Okay, but you're also going to be spending more money because now when that tarp moves, you're rolling the wall. Now you're spending money on cleaning the floors.
yeah, an extra day of labor or something.
Right. So business is not only just try to be in business and think you're gonna grow it. It's finding different ways to how you can better your business. So for us, social media has helped. The process that we have taken has also helped. And that's where a lot of people see the social media, how we're doing it, and it's worked.
Go check out his YouTube. Go check out his Instagram. Go check out his Facebook. Like, he's very active, and he's always constantly posting and making sure that he's in front of his audience because, like you said, he understands how important it is for his brand, his business, and for overall just to continue to grow. Last three questions. What systems or processes did you put in place to streamline your business operation as you scaled up?
Secretaries and my project manager.
secretaries and project manager. Why? What made you? What was the deciding factor to hire a secretary? When does somebody know like I need help?
So I didn't know I needed help. I've been around. I like to surround myself with other business owners, all right, and pick their brains of how they are doing it and what process is working for them, all right. And I would ask them like, how do you do it? You know, I used to have my phone. 5 years, I've answered my own phone. Dealt with the customer service, dealt with the estimating, checking up on my jobs, doing all this on my own. Until I started talking to business owners and they come out and tell me, Walter, hire a secretary. And I was like, it's scary. It's scary to hire a secretary because at the end of the day, you don't know if they're going to respond to your customers the way you will respond to your customers. Yeah. So that part for me was scary because I was like, damn, I'm like, I've grown it 5 years to where we are now. By me doing that, it's going to be hard. And they just kept telling me, Walter, do it. And I ended up doing it. And I tell you that at first, for the first few months, it was scary. It was scary. But here we are, a year later. It's the best decision I've made. I'm less stressed. I don't have to worry about answering the calls. Yes, and listen, if a customer calls the office, they want to talk to me directly, they'll tell her I will call them directly and speak to them if they want to talk to me. I'm still active. I still show up to the jobs and talk to my customers, make sure they're happy.
You're still active.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, and then also the other thing is, you know, I got 2 girls in my office. You know, one of them does my profit and loss. Now I know what I'm gaining and what I'm not making money on from the projects. Which that was a big thing for me. That yes, I have an accountant, Carl. Shout out to Carl. Appreciate you, brother, always. But having her here and letting me know, okay, Walter, you lost X amount on this one, but you gained X amount on this job. So, and then with I got Sarah and Danielle, and they both are amazing. Sarah is great. She knows about the painting projects. She knows how to deal with customers. You know, Danielle, she knows the paperwork part of it. She also, you know, she makes the phone calls to, you know, for us to get paid. So that's her department. And that stuff took a lot of weight off of my chest because now I could feel like now I could start learning how to grow my business. You know, so before I get into that, my other one was getting a project manager. All right, because I will go every day to these jobs and make sure that these guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Sometimes I used to get tired. I'm like, I don't feel like going away, but I had to do it. But now that we have someone, you know, he goes to the jobs, talks to the customers, making sure the guys have what they need so they don't have to leave the job. He can go pick it up, bring it back to them, saves time. So doing stuff like that to scale my business, you know, it's a scary part to get to that, but it's a very important part of business. Is letting other people delegate your business while you focusing on growing.
I agree, 100%. Last one. How do you manage finances in the early stages to keep the business sustainable? Any budgeting tips for new business owners?
In the beginning, you know, listen, the first 2-3 years is investing back into your business.
You were big on that.
Always. And I still am. I still do it to this day.
Yeah.
I still do it to this day.
That's how we got here to this headquarters.
Yeah.
Remember when this was all empty?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I started with a Toyota Roadrunner. Not Roadrunner. Toyota, I forgot what it was. Not Wave Runner. Wave Runner is a jet ski. Yeah. Well, it was a Toyota. It's like a Highlander of Toyota.
Station wagon, no?
No, it was like a nah. But it was, listen, people that know me, they know I used to drive around with that truck everywhere. I got my first, and then I bought my first truck. It actually just went to crap like last year. I had to get rid of it. But it's important to always invest, whether you're investing in a truck, machine, marketing, um, clothes where it has your name on it. It's very important to invest in that. You know, the littler things. You know, I have that heater. All right, people, oh, why are you buying a heater? It's hot outside. One, it's on sale. Two, when it gets cold outside, and it's you're working in a new construction home, you know, it gets cold. You need some heat. You want the guys to be comfortable. Scaffold. I got four tiers of it. You know, why you got so many scaffolds? Why? Because we got a couple crews that's out, so I don't have to worry about it. Invest in that, so that way you don't have to worry about them going on a ladder in the house and worry about if they're gonna fall. They can put the scaffold up and be safe. It's all about being safe as well in the business. It's not just going in there and just, oh, well, you know, you have to do whatever you have to do to try to get it done. Because at the end of the day, your guys are not gonna, they're not gonna like it. They're not gonna feel safe. Mm-hmm. So as long as they're safe and you have the proper equipment for them, get it. If one of my guys called me and say, hey, Walter, this ladder went to crap. All right, if we can't fix it, all right, let's go get another one. My machines, you know, I never let my machines not work. We have like seven machines. You know, just because I have 7 machines and one of them go out, yes, we have another one, but I'm not just gonna have that one machine just laying around not fixed. No, that machine, as soon as you tell me that it's not working and we can't fix it, it's going into the shop too. Mm-hmm. You know, invest in your trucks, making sure you're doing your oil changes. You know, your brakes. That's important.
What would you tell the person that's just being cheap?
You're being cheap. You're gonna be. You'll be fucked. Seriously. All jokes aside, if you want to be cheap with your business and not invest into your business, and you're worried about. Here's the thing: when people are in business and people start making money, they're more worried about how they can look to the world. All right? They want to get fancy cars. They want to get fancy clothes. All right? They want to do all this fancy stuff. Listen, we can get there, but it takes time. Mm-hmm. Just because you're there, you're making a little bit of money in your 3rd or 4th year, it doesn't mean you need to go out there and splurge. You know, you have to make the right decisions. You know, I mean, us, and I say this all the time, I'd rather be broke and know that I'm investing into my business. You know, we bought our first investment property, you know, towards the beginning of the year. People would tell me I was crazy. All right? Listen, I had barely anything. All right? Any money to really say, okay, I can do this and be okay. No, I took $60,000, all right, and put it into buying this house, a down payment, and had nothing, but knew that I had to work just as hard to gain more money. But guess what? Now I know that I have an investment property that can actually help my family and my kids in the long run. You know, it's not always trying to invest in something and say, oh, yeah, I just invested in this and now I still got, $100,000 in my pocket. Yes, you can do that. You know, you can do that. People can do that in business. It takes time. But me, I have nothing. I want to build something. In order for me to build something, I have to spend my money in order for me to get there.
There you guys have it. Last thing. What would you? See, my biggest thing or my biggest why I'm doing what I'm doing is because of, I want to be able to live as free as possible, and we come from nothing, right? And to be able to retire my mother, I think, is one of my biggest whys, to continue to push every single day. And the last question I have for you is, rest in peace, but your mom was here, what would you tell her?
We made it. We made it. You know, we made it. I speak to her every morning. I say thank you for watching over me. We're here. Your grandkids don't have to worry about nothing. Your son is free from all drama and everything else, and we made it. I wish he was here. I know you're watching over me, but we're here.
Congratulations, Walter, on all your success.
Thank you.
I know you're going to continue to kill it. You're going to continue to help people. You're going to continue to make an impact on this world. And I know for a fact your mother's proud of you.
Thank you.
And you definitely inspire me, brother.
You inspire me too, brother.
Thank you for joining the podcast.
Yes, so let's go.
Dreamers, Believers, Dreamers podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you, brother.
Go follow him, Walter's Custom Painting, on all platforms. Flo Menez on all platforms as well. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir. Peace out. Appreciate you, brother. That was good. It was good. That was good.
Damn. What was that? 50 minutes.
Yeah.